Hey, you guys, welcome to Alex and Andy Live. It is Saturday, 21 May 2022. We're coming to you from Shanghai, China, obviously, as the city starts to wake up, come back to life. We'll have all the latest news and stuff for you today. First, I want to show you a quick view that we've added again of our from our Danwei from Shanghai Daily. This is the view we brought to you right at the beginning before we went into lockdown here in Puxi. So a bit of reminiscing there for me anyway. Coming up on today's show, we have obviously the latest numbers, 84 and 784. That's actually up on yesterday, but today we have 0 community infections, which is a good thing. We'll talk to Yang Jian about that very shortly. Also, 1 new death reported in the city for yesterday, unfortunately, and that brings the death toll in this outbreak to 581. That is counted from about March 1st. Also, a handful of shopping malls here in the city, for those lucky enough to be able to go outside, have reopened their doors to the public. And apparently retailers around the city are trying to coup or bring customers back. So we'll see how that goes. Overseas news, kind of related to China, obviously. Canada has opted out more of using 5G from Huawei and ZTE, which China says they strongly oppose for obvious reason. We have the 3rd episode today of our Away From Home series to check out, as well as a new tune from somebody we had on our online concert, which seems like a lifetime ago now, Thomas Hood. He's a Shanghai-based American. He'll also join us on the show to have a chat. So that's what we're looking forward to today. Now let's check in with my co-host, Alex. Alex, how's it going?
All right, not bad. Just another day. I can't think of anything that happened today that was out of the ordinary. We, like many others, are not currently allowed outside of our compound, but we are allowed downstairs to have a stroll. So we did that today. They had a little basketball hoop set up. I don't know who put it out there, but we shot a couple baskets and then went back inside. That's pretty much it. You?
Yeah, the same. Had a bit of a discussion with my duo today because there's still some partitions put up that stop us from walking around. You guys might remember about a month ago, I shared a video of my walking around the city block, still inside a locked-in fence of our compound. They put up some partitions along the way about a month or 3 weeks ago, which stopped me from being able to do my walk. So I kind of asked them about it today. They said there's still no chance of taking it down. So for the time being, I'm still just stuck inside with no exercise, which kind of bites, especially as more and more friends are sending me videos and photos from outside. I don't know if you've received the same, Alex, but I feel like before, when all of Shanghai was under lockdown and no one could go out, I didn't mind it. But now that I'm seeing more and more video and footage from outside, it's kind of getting to me now.
Yeah, I do. I have a few friends who are able to go out and about, going to just, obviously there's not a whole lot open, so they aren't able to do much.
Right.
I have seen pictures of some passes, the Tongqing Zheng, and I have seen some videos and just of friends going out, going to the supermarket and things like that. But again, it is for some of them, it's just 2 days a week for 2 or 3 hours at a time. Some people are allowed to go outside every day, but it's only one member of the household. It's extremely restrictive. There's like you're only allowed to walk in a certain jiedao in a certain area.
Yeah, it's true.
And, there's just a whole lot of restrictions placed on what you can and can't do and where you can and can't go still, even though at least people can go outside onto the street.
Here's a photo. Here's a photo from a friend that was out today. He said his feeling outside, apart from shops and stuff not being fully open yet, he feels it's pretty much back to normal. And I'll show you guys a video that he sent. Oh, not that one. This video he sent today as well. Look how many people there are. Looks pretty busy to me, Alex. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, compared to what it has been, compared to normal in Shanghai, that's what Shanghai looks like at 4 a.m. normally. So, but compared to the ghost town it's been over the last several weeks, that's at least an encouraging sign.
Yeah, that's for sure. But still, I'm feeling a bit sour today. What did they say? Or Ningmeng Jing. Anyway, I feel sour. That what is it? Or Ningmeng Jing?
Something like that. I don't really use that expression very much.
That was like 2 years ago, so I forgot. If anyone remembers, tell us in the comments. We have a lot of comments coming in. Joe Alberto said, coming back to life indeed. I was out for the first time today in a long time, biked around Shuhui district and Jing'an for 3 hours. That's awesome. You should have popped by my house and yelled out. Noel Lee, who's a fellow YouTuber, he says, good evening, gentlemen. Noel, it's awesome to see you on the stream. Somebody says it's election night tonight in Australia. Current party of the Morrison government looks to be going out. Fingers crossed. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys know about that tomorrow, maybe. I guess if it's election night tonight, then we'll have the results by tomorrow and see what's happening there in Australia. But for now, I reckon we'll bring in our colleague Yang Jian and find out from him, because I mentioned before that the numbers actually have gone slightly up today, Alex. So I want to see what Yang Jian has to say about that. So Yang Jian, hey, we saw this morning that infections have gone up ever so slightly, I think just less than 10. But I was wondering, does this change anything going forward?
Yes, you're right. The number of infections has kept rising for the second day, but with a slower growth rate by about 1% today. And the reason is Yangpu, Hongkou, and Jing'an districts reported more than half of the city's total infection, and mainly at their locked down areas. And Yangpu is still struggling with the remaining infections in the old residential communities. And while Hongkou and Jing'an are handling a sudden resurgence from yesterday. And the three districts have announced to suspend the reopening of supermarkets and stores. And Yangpu district has upgraded all its precautionary areas to controlled areas, so nobody can leave their neighborhoods now. And every citizen in Hongkou and Jing'an will receive PCR testing for 3 days, and everyone must stay at home during the screening. So these measures will hopefully put the resurgence in the three districts under control soon and bring down the city's daily infection number again. But there are also some good news today, and the first is all close, and secondly, contacts of the three new community infections in Qingpu district have tested negative twice. So we still have zero community transmission citywide, and like the definition of the dynamic zero COVID strategy, there might be no absolute zero infections, but the spread of any new community transmission can be contained immediately. And the second good news is 6 million risk areas in Chongming, Jiading, and Minhang have been downgraded to low-risk areas from today. And they were listed before the city's lockdown in March. And the announcement today means Shanghai has gradually returned to its normality COVID prevention and control. And one of the key signs is the high, medium, and the low-risk areas designation. But currently, it will coexist with the system of locked-down, controlled, and precautionary areas until the end of the month, when the whole city is expected to become precautionary areas. And today, the number of citizens in the precautionary areas have risen to over 20 million, which is 83% of the city's total population. So the city's open up is still going smoothly despite the resurgence in some downtown regions. And in the outlying Fengshan district, an official told the press meeting today that some bus lines, parks, community service centers, markets, and shopping malls have reopened, and the main purpose is to serve as the pressure test for the downtown areas, which will enter the next stage of open up from tomorrow. Andy.
All right, cool, good information there. Also, I wanted to ask you. So there was another update today about the limited public transportation that is planned to be opened up tomorrow. Do you have any important tips or any information for our viewers about that?
Firstly, the city's transport commission clarified today that all public transport will require the 48-hour PCR negative report and the venue code scanning, no matter the metro or buses that will restore operation from tomorrow, or the ferries and the taxis that will restore operation in the near future, which is the biggest difference from that before the lockdown. And one of our readers is asking, what is this venue code? And it is a QR code to be put up at all public venues like markets, museums, and metro stations, on buses and taxis. And the customers and the passengers should scan it with mobile phone apps like Station Ban, Alipay, or WeChat. And the purpose is to first check the ID and the health and the PCR test information. And the second is to record the footprint of every citizen for the convenience of future maybe epidemiological investigation. And some so-called digital sentry or the digital guards will also be deployed at the public venues and transport hubs such as airports and railway stations. And it is a comprehensive machine that can check the temperature while scanning the health code of each passenger. And tomorrow, if you want to be the first batch of metro passengers, firstly, you should scan the venue code before entering the metro station. And the operator said some 7,000 such venue codes has been posted across each metro station. And after scanning it, your mobile phone will display a page of both the health code and the 48-hour PCR report. And you just need to show the page on your mobile phone to the security check staff. And normally there will be two of them, one to check the health code and the PCR report, and another to check the temperature. And passengers must enter the station within an hour after scanning the venue code. But there is no need to scan it again when transferred to another line. And the metro operator said passengers with abnormal temperature will be guided to the quarantine zone at each metro station and receive a double temperature check. And if the temperature is still higher than the 37.3 degrees Celsius, the metro staff will have to call the city's CDC, the Center for Disease Control. And the operator also reminded passengers that firstly, the four lines will operate with an interval of about 20 minutes, which is about 5 to 6 times longer than the normal metro operation. So passengers must ensure additional time. And the operation hours, as we mentioned, has been shortened to between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. every day. And thirdly, the Hongqiao railway station of the Metro Line 10 will only open to railway passengers who are to leave Shanghai or just arrive in the city. And each metro passenger to this station must have the railway ticket of the day. But Shanghai railway station of Line 3 will open to all passengers with no requirement of the railway ticket. And besides, the operator said in case of COVID resurgence, the nearby metro stations might be closed and the trains will scap or shorten operations. So tomorrow will be the big day for the city to enter the phase 2 open up. And the cross-district public transport will be opened for the first time since the lockdown. And we will check the first day metro operation tomorrow at two stations, the Central Avenue station of Line 6 and the Shanghai Railway station of Line 3, and provide more updates to our audiences. Alex.
Awesome. Gian, thank you so much for all of that information. We'll see you again same time tomorrow.
Thanks.
See you. Bye.
Okay, you guys, you're probably going to want to check out what Yang Jian said in detail. That was a lot of information, but it is all very important. You can head along to our website, shine.cn, which is the official website for Shanghai Daily. And here's the story by Yang Jian. Restored metro buses to run at longer intervals. And you'll see underneath here all of that information. If you're planning on heading out, if you're one of the lucky few who is able to leave your compound, which both Alex and I are not. So if you head to the Shine website, shine.cn, the story should be pretty much close to the top there, right there in the middle. So you can go check that out. But we have a comment on our WeChat, on the Shanghai Daily WeChat live stream. John says, my compound is still locked down, even though it's listed as precautionary and other compounds on my street are open. Why is it that some compounds on the same street are locked down and others are issuing exit passes? That is a complicated one, but basically it depends where your xiaoqu, the jurisdiction comes under. So it could be that your xiaoqu is part of the Juwei from another area. Alex, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it could be that. It could be because, when they draw the lines in terms of the different sort of sub-districts, I guess, sometimes they might obviously segment it off along the same street. It could just be that your neighborhood committee is being curmudgeonly about the situation. And I mean, we've seen a lot of instances of that where, where they just don't want to, and so they just don't, in terms of giving you exit passes, which is unfortunate. But, they've been given a lot of sort of rights and leeway in terms of how to handle this whole situation so far. And so if you are unlucky enough to live in a neighborhood with a particularly obstinate neighborhood committee, then you might be in that situation.
Right. Really, that is what we've been saying the whole time. A lot of things just come down to your Juwei, whether they want to say yay or nay. A lot of the time we've found that things will contradict what we've heard from the central. When I say central, I mean the Shanghai main government. So yeah, they have been given a lot of leeway to decide for themselves based on gosh knows what, a number of factors. But yeah, I think probably what it comes down to is those other xiaoqu in your area, on your street, may just be under the jurisdiction of another Juwei, even though it seems close. If there's a line down the middle, bureaucracy, they're going to go by their separate rules. So that's just how it works, unfortunately. Hey, I want to quickly check my cooking, Alex.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
I have, I'm doing some, let me see. I'll bring in my iPad here.
All right.
I'm just doing some, cooking some Bushroe. I need to check it really quickly. Sorry, guys. Alex, do you do Bushroe very often? This is huiguo.
Yeah, so occasionally, yes. Obviously, it's good in hot pot, and we have a little hot pot, a little mini hot pot that we use here at home. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously, right now I don't have any, but I guess I could get my hands on some. It's easier to get your hands on stuff now than it was weeks ago. And so, yeah, maybe we'll do that. Yeah. So like I said, we do at-home hot pot sometimes, and Bushroe is good for that.
Oh, sorry, you guys.
Fixing it up. All right.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, did you just see I filmed the where those guys are? Did you see it?
Oh, is that where the tents were?
Yeah. Let me show you. Can you hear me still? I'll bring you guys out here.
Okay. We're losing you a little bit, Andy. Yeah. See it.
And you can like see what we did at home yet. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And that's how close it is from where I am at the moment, which is quite interesting. As you can see, really, really quiet outside. Normally this would be much louder, and there's also some construction going on in that building, but we obviously haven't been there, so it's quiet. And yeah, I will roll. Seems to do my job.
It looks tasty for sure.
And I'm back.
You're back. All right.
So I don't know.
I can't really hear you so well right now, Andy. You're breaking up a little bit, but yeah. So it's yeah, but it looks the food looks good. You know, I like that kind of stuff. You know, I will tell you this. Obviously, we had a woman on our show recently. I maybe have talked about this, who was a vegan, and she talked about different options. Different options for vegans during the lockdown, and her company, which I believe is called Xiaobu Vegan or XB,
yes,
right? Yeah, and so I'm almost done with. She sent us each 12 vegan imitation meat patties, and I am almost finished with them. I've really enjoyed them so far. A lot better than any ones that I had previously, in terms of just vegetarian or vegan sort of imitation meat products, and so I thought it was really good. And yeah, I just have you been eating those or what's up?
To be honest, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
A little bit. You're pretty choppy at the moment.
Oh yeah. Wait one second. Let me try something else.
Okay. See if Andy can fix up his connection. Obviously, you know, for those of you who view us frequently, that's way better.
Sorry about that. This is so stupid, man. Anyway, what I was saying was the vegetarian meat. Yeah, it was good, but I bought some chickens and some pork and everything that I had to put in my freezer. So I ended up giving those away to, you know, those 12 guys that are living downstairs together. There's the 12 guys jammed in together. So I gave them 6 packs of the vegetarian meat, which each have 2. So it's exactly 12. So apparently they quite enjoyed it. So that's good. I had to make some room in my freezer.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm obviously not a vegetarian or a vegan, but so I got them alongside the bacon and the chicken and things like that. But I thought that it was a nice change of pace, and I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's a good look into the future, I reckon. Noel Lee asked, how did you get 2 cameras set up on the stream? It's really easy. I just invited myself in again on my iPad, and then that's kind of like my walking cam. I would use my cell phone, but I'm using it to watch our stream in the Shanghai Daily WeChat and keep up on the comments there, so we can read them out here. That could be why my internet connection is so bad, Alex, connecting with 3 things at one time.
That could be it.
Kevin James Ing says, is it bring a plate at Andy's place for dinner? I wish I could. Unfortunately, no one would be able to get in. Joe Alberto says, yum, imitation vegan meat patties. They were quite good. They tasted a lot like real meat. But yeah, it's just taking up a lot of room in my freezer.
Not something I'd normally have. It isn't something I'd normally seek out, but like I said, I've actually quite enjoyed it. I got some Dijon mustard that's been sitting in my fridge, and I ran out of all of my commonly used condiments and couldn't replace them, so I had to dig back into those old, you know what I mean, those condiments that you just never use. Now it's time to use it. Your time has come.
This is lockdown cuisine. We use what we have.
Yeah. Bring in
here's those numbers. Exactly. Here's those numbers. I just want to smash out the news that Young GM mentioned. We have, if you zoom in really closely, you can see the numbers have gone slightly up. But again, we have 0 here. So I think that's all that matters. What do you reckon, Alex?
Yeah, right. I'm not, again, the numbers are down. They're slightly up from the last couple of days. Down, but they're down compared to what they were for a long time. And so if that, I guess that 0 number is good. I'm not sure what, obviously it went up to 3 because there was one family out in the sticks. In rural parts of Qingpu district who were positive, but not previously at lockdown or anything. And so I'm not sure excuse me, I'm not sure how that might affect our sort of path to gradual opening up of some things, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I've seen some. How should I put this? I've seen some signs that June 1st and some sort of scuttlebutt that June 1st might be a date to look forward to. Again, I personally am just going to kind of wait and believe it when I see it, honestly.
Right.
And that's sort of been my attitude ever since the lockdown obviously went longer than originally expected. I've taken a bit of a believe it when I see it kind of approach as far as opening back up. And so again, I hope that June 1st brings some changes. And I think maybe some businesses will be opening up. You might see a lot more people going out, maybe going to work, things like that. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully this number here that you're looking at on the screen right now stays at 0 for the next several days, so that when we do decide, or June 1st or whenever it's going to be, that we actually can get out and start at least returning to normality, not normalcy, remember, normality, at least in some aspects of our lives.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you saw it, Alex, but yesterday we got an announcement from Shanghai Daily, from our Jihuan, saying that if the circumstance allows, everyone should go back to the office on June 1st. So, I'm with you. I reckon wait till the time comes. I asked my Jiwei about it. They said they haven't received any notice yet to let anyone go to work. Of course, June 1 is a bit over a week away, so they may not have received it yet. But I'm going to wait and see. Now, I just want to quickly mention, you mentioned about the 3 community cases. I noticed Yang Jian said that all of their close contacts have tested negative, which is awesome. But I do want to mention that because of the nature of the inside controlled areas and outside controlled areas, the community number would be 0 anyway, even if their close contacts tested positive, because now their area has automatically switched to a lockdown area, which means any new cases won't show up in this number here, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Well, yeah, it just means that anytime an area has recently had positives, that area then goes back to being, I'm not even going to use the cautionary control. I'm going to call it red, yellow, and green. Right?
Red, orange, yellow, green, yeah.
I'll have red, yellow, green, like a traffic light, right? We'll go red, yellow, and green. Okay. And so, obviously, if it was previously a green area, it'll flip back to being a red area, right? So this number is 0. It excludes red areas. It excludes quarantine facilities, obviously, because those people are all positive. And it excludes quarantine hotels, which are close contacts. And so that's why that number is able to be at 0, even though there were 800 and whatever it is new cases today.
Yeah, that's important to get your head around. And that is the nature of China's new COVID 0. It doesn't mean there's absolutely 0 COVID in the city. It just means that it's all controlled. There is that kind of system, as Alex and I already mentioned a few weeks ago, right at the start. We've decided to call it red, yellow, green, because it's way much easier to understand. But the names there are lockdown, controlled, precautionary. But yeah, those cases, like Alex said, will flip back to red, and then they've got to go through a 2-week process to become green again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's sort of like I was alluding to, kind of like playing Chutes and Ladders or Snakes and Ladders.
Snakes and Ladders, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or sort of Sorry or Parcheesi, where you get knocked back to the home base and have to traverse the game board again. Kind of a, I don't mean to be flippant about it. Obviously, it's nothing that anybody wants to do or go through, but here we are.
Exactly. Hey, we have a super sticker from Tien Po Lim. I think that's a Vietnamese name, is it? But that is from Malaysia, so I'm not sure. Nope. And also we have a comment here from Kevin James Ing. He says, my friend Serena Dong from CGTN has called it Scott Morrison out in Australia. So apparently, according at least to Serena Dong from CGTN, Scott Morrison's out.
Well, again, I'm not Australian. I do know who he is. I'm big. I'm a little bit. I pay attention to some stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, cool. I know obviously some people like him, some people don't. I tend to be somebody who might like him less than others. But then again, I'm not Australian, and his decisions don't directly affect me, at least for the most part. And so I have to defer to my Australian friends for their opinion about it.
Yeah, no, I have quite a few family in Australia, and I'm like you. I don't follow Australian politics, but I do have to mention that everyone I know wants Scott Morrison out, so it's good news for them anyway. For all of my family in Australia, go you guys! But yeah, that is not. I don't know for sure if that's actually the case. That's just from one comment online. Hey, let's play our first video, I reckon, Alex, which is the next part in the Away From Home series. This one's called 2901, which I guess is the number of the location this was filmed at. But this is about somebody called Gu Xiumei, who was a plasterer who's been working in an apartment compound, a residential compound. They were working there doing some plastering work when they were locked in. So that's become her new home. And she's been living in a half-finished room. Oh, there we go, room number 2901. So this is her story. Let's check it out and we'll come right back and have a chat.
老三，好，330330啊。好。我是搞墙面的，江苏盐城丰台。 到了这家我是7号过来的嘛，还有几天2个月在这边。刚开始29号我去报名，我自从报了名，我资本上没歇。
每天都是他群里面报名，搬东西、核酸全是他。
哟，太吃力死了。
啊，就是热，你看这个里面衣服全湿的。今天2边都可以坐啊，可以过来扫码来，这边来。 做核酸，我看还有好多人吃的。上楼做核酸吗？做核酸。对的，13支、14、15、18、23、24、28、29。
你多摁一点。
我按了。
你多摁一点。
好，好，你就我们上去了。这个茄子要多炖，好吃。这个也是那个小姑娘给我的，320的小姑娘给的。我老公问我了，说你在那边怎么的？我说嗨，你别那个我说我过得挺好。我说原来上海人都这么好啊！15年代的小姑娘，2904的、3302的、1904的、704的，他们都给我好多东西。我说真的。反正我都记在心里了，我不下去帮他送，我心里都过意不去。我就是能做点小小的贡献就那个吧，对吧？你说我一个人在里面啊，就是吃就是睡，完了这个脑袋高头嗡嗡的，然后你出来，你看现在出汗了，回去哎呦澡一洗，哎呦可舒服了。
2901，他因为他不是我们这个小区的人，知道吧？你看我们都住在这里的，实际我们都是为我们自己服务的。我说2901，他在真正为人民服务的。哪天解封了哈，给下面摆个 party， 我说我一定给他带个大红花的。
其实我们油漆工没什么工具啊，这俩就好了，就睡这里。我们不租房的都是租工地啊，到哪不也是一个家嘛？像他家我好好的住13天、14天，我就能接受了。他家时间真的太长了，到这边来准备到别的地方去干活的呢。我儿子就跑车跑了2天半，就 就没跑。刚开始我跟我老公一起干的，后来老公跟朋友一起开公司，没开好在张家港，然后黄了。后来我们家这个买了个车，那个厢式货车嘛，9.6米的那种。我们一家7口啊，就靠他一个人哦。我们都这边，你看他们3个放在江桥，我放在这边，家里有老母亲老爸爸在讲，就是视频啊，就是打视频，流量不够用哦。我跟我老公只有60个 G， 后来我今天找我同学帮他升级，在那个239的有150个 G， 这下我们可够用了。他一个人在外面挣钱，没办法呀，这2个月了我都没挣到钱啊。我到了那边，你看我孙女儿好不好啊？从那个铁门里面指，奶奶抱，奶奶抱。我说奶奶不能抱，我离她远远的呀。我说奶奶不能抱，奶奶下回来抱你啊。过年的时候我让她叫奶奶的，你看她，你看，奶奶，叫啊，奶奶。我们结完我们就去组织呗，组织个都没长时间，都不成组织，对吧？不得去啊。
Oh, really cute video. That was shot by our colleague Daisy, who is actually our video boss. That is in Xiaoqu, and it was edited by our awesome colleague Hu Jun. So awesome story there, you guys. I think it really goes to show, really shows the sense of community that a lot of people have experienced, myself included, during this lockdown, which has been pretty awesome. I know you haven't been able to go outside much, Alex.
Yeah, definitely not. I have obviously chatted with some of my neighbors in our WeChat group chat, and so we have shared some supplies with them. We were able to buy a bunch of fish, and we had more than we needed, and so we distributed it to some neighbors who need it and things like that. But I haven't gotten a chance to really obviously meet them face to face, of course not, but. Yeah, I think for a lot of communities, this is going to sort of. I know I do have one friend, a good friend of mine, who is from Europe, and he lives in a community, obviously, and he's got 2 kids, 2 sort of primary school age kids, and he was telling me that they never really had any friends in their community. They had friends from school or from this or from that, but didn't really know any of the other kids in the community. But now, since they have actually been really lucky, they've been able to go outside. And sort of go around, and then they've started playing with the other kids in their community. Now they play together every day, and so he was telling me that it's cool that his kids have sort of made playmates from in their community. So yeah, I guess some good has come of it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know though if it's I think for most people it's been quite a not good experience. So it kind of. Feels bad to say some good has come from it, but I think definitely some good.
I've had a bad experience as well. I have not had fun. I've not enjoyed it. I give it 0 out of 10. Never want to do it again. But I think it is important to be able to say, hey, at least there's this or at least there's that to kind of make us feel a little bit better about the situation that we've been through.
Right, for sure. Hey, we had some nice comments about the video. People said that is a perfect example of the nice and kind people I meet here. I guess he means here in China. Also, we had this comment about somebody saying, I read yesterday that China is to allow some embassies to issue visas for travel under certain circumstances. I did notice that China has lessened the requirements for people coming into China from overseas in regards to COVID because of the nature of Omicron, which has a shorter incubation period. So now you don't need to do a 2-week and 1-week test before you come over. I think it's been reduced to 3 days and then the day of. But I don't think that is specifically for travel. I think that's just for people who are coming for work or whatever. I don't think it's for coming here for holiday per se, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. Have you heard about that, Alex?
Yeah, no, definitely. As far as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. They're still not issuing certain
travel visas.
Yeah, there's no tourist visa, business visa, visas of this nature. They stopped issuing those at the outset of the entire pandemic in 2020.
2 years, 3 years. Yeah.
Yes, 2 years and change ago, and have still stopped doing that. So yeah, to enter the country, you need to have one of a certain type of visa, including but not limited to, but including things like obviously a residence permit that you get after your work visa is finished, spousal visa, things like that. Obviously, if you have a green card, permanent residency card, then you can come in. But if you are someone from another country and an international, then you can't get in with a business visa or tourist visa or anything like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, sorry about that, Ease Place. But it is good to see that the requirements are kind of loosening up a little bit based on the reality of this changing virus. I'm trying to find the story right now on shine.cn, but I don't see it there, but I did read it somewhere else today. Hey, I want to quickly show you guys my my pork, because a lot of people want to know how to make it, and I noticed that it's ready. So what I'm going to do is really quickly show you guys how it looks when it's ready, so you can take it off. But I won't be able to talk to you guys at the time. Hopefully this doesn't throw me off, but let's see. Are you? Nope. Oops.
Yep.
Get in there. Okay, here we go. I'll bring you guys to the kitchen really quickly just to check it out. Is that working?
Now it's working, yeah. No, what is
Not
this? That. Oh, no, that's the next video.
This one. Here we go. God, this is so annoying, Alex. Like, this internet connection is just so terrible. Like, I can't do anything.
Oh, it's unfortunate. We're having some issues today with our connection speed. Oh, all right. Here we go.
This should work. Okay. I'm not going to talk in the kitchen, but I'll show you guys what hui guo rou looks like when it's ready, when you can turn it off. Here we go. Like that. Juicy, and it's all the water has gone down.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Nice, rich, deep color there. It looks pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Can you see my kitty?
I do. She's chilling out.
This is my space, you guys, if you want to see. Anyway, yeah, that's that.
Yeah, definitely. Looking good.
Yeah, so you got to take it off once the liquid goes down to a certain level, otherwise you're going to burn it. Anyway, what we're going to do now, sorry about that, it took a little longer than I wanted it to because the internet connection problem, but we're going to play the next video, which is by Thomas Hood, who did a performance on our concert show. And then when the video is over, Alex is going to have a quick chat with him. So let's check it out. If I can put it on. Here we go.
There we go.
If I could sum up what I wanted, it's you, just you, all you. I know I'm always fixed on being right, but now I think I finally grew. 'Cause I don't care if this whole world were to crumble. I just hold on to you, my love. And if the sky's red open, we all crash. My heart won't come undone. So be right here. sister or son. My God, look how he's grown. If you could see, if this whole world would crumble, just hold on to you, my love. If the skies read open, we all crash. My heart won't come undone. If you could see.
All right, yeah, really good stuff there. Really enjoyed that song from Thomas Hood. We had him on our show, obviously, our concert show that was really quite a long time ago. It was back in early April, but yeah, it was really good to hear his voice again and hear his music. And we're gonna have a chat with Thomas as well. Thomas, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Hey, Alex, good to see you again.
Good to see you again, man. Yeah, my first question: how you been holding up? I know we chatted. I think it was April 5th or something like that when we had our show. Obviously, we talked about Elliott Smith and your music and all that, which was cool. So how you been holding up? How's lockdown treating you so far?
Yeah, I mean, we all have our ups and downs, that's for sure, right? Some pretty rough nights and some pretty good nights as well. I mean, the band Siren, we've been keeping really busy. The song that you're hearing this from, we did this 100% remotely. Actually, just sending files to each other and Steven mixing it down in the end, right? So, between like arranging all that and recording everything, I'm writing a lot for our next record as well. So, it's definitely been a time to take advantage of that. At the same time, I'd say it can be really hard to get inspired to get the motivation, right, when just every day is the same stimuli, right? That really isn't so great for like the creative process, what have you. So yeah, man, I think it's, you know, very much a familiar tale of, you know, we've got good days and we got bad days. But you know, I'm super grateful to be happy, to be healthy, to have my wife here with me. So you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. And I can hear you on that one, because obviously on my lifestyle column, I've really had some serious writer's block in terms of what to talk about, because, you know, same stimuli, I got nothing really to say, you know what I mean? But anyway, so about this song in particular, I really enjoyed it. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of the inspiration behind this song, and just a little bit more about this song in particular?
Yeah, sure. So the original name of the band Siren was called White Star Line, which is the company that created the Titanic, which of course famously sank. And every song of ours is the name of a person, and that person is in some way connected, at least, to the sinking of this ghost ship. And so Daniel is the name of a fictional guy who worked on the ship and died aboard it, and it's a duet between him, like I guess like his ghost or spirit or whatever, and his widow, and it's sort of a conversation between two of those. So I'm playing Daniel, and then our lead singer Ika is playing his sort of unnamed widow. This was like the second song I wrote for Siren, and I remember actually I wrote this after my first show for Siren at the old Yiyintang. Actually, I just like got up. It was like 11. I was like really tired, right, and really bleary from the show. And I was like, I had something in my head, and just had to get it out. And so I wrote this in like, I want to say like an hour or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I really do enjoy it. It's a cool story. I like the Titanic connection. I didn't know that about your band. And also, I do shout out to Yuyintang. I do miss going there for shows and stuff like that. Well, I have no idea when we'll be able to get back there and watch some more live music, but it's a place that I used to frequent. I really like it. So you tell us, are there any other sort of projects that you're working on, that you've been sort of working on during the lockdown that we can look forward to? And also, like, what do you plan to do once this lockdown is over?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, we've got our acoustic EP that's done. It's mixed and mastered. It's out on NetEase Music, Spotify, anywhere that you like to listen to music. It's up there. And in the meantime, we had just started on our first record, our first electric record, because, you know, usually we do more kind of hard rock, heavy metal type stuff. So we finished our first single and released it during lockdown, and now we have two more coming out. One that is coming up on the 24th, my birthday, and then one on the 26th, which is our band leader Steven's birthday. So two new singles coming out next week that you can look forward to. And we're just going to keep on plugging away at the record remotely for as long as this happens, until we can get back in the studio. And once we get out, you know, you better be sure that, you know, even if we're not able to perform yet, we're definitely going to practice together, jam, write songs, you know, like playing music collectively. It kills me, man, not being able to do it. So that's one of the first things that we're going to do when we can. And then you better believe that we're going to be hitting up Yiyintang and, you know, everywhere we possibly can when that becomes, you know, possible.
Yep, absolutely, man. Well, it's good talking to you. It's good catching up, man. And hopefully once we get out there and we can play a live show again, I'll definitely do my best to be in attendance. I'd love to see you play live, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you, man. All right, catch you later.
All right, Thomas. Buddy. All right, really cool stuff there. Yeah, I enjoy his music. He's a cool guy as well. And so, although we haven't met in person, I definitely plan to, whenever his band does have some live shows that we can actually go to, I'll be there. I'll enjoy that. I do love some live music. You know, the place he referred to is, which is it's out in Changning District, and it's a live music venue that some of my friends and I really like to frequent. It's really fun place to watch sort of local live bands like Thomas's band. It's
awesome. Oh, I think we've got internet connection problems again. Mother effer. Alex, can you hear me? I don't know who's cut out now. Oh,
it was me.
Back? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. I was just saying before, you can throw some things on the stage and scream out, Thomas, when you do that. Just somebody asked, that's the place that you were just talking about. Is it still around?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I haven't been there in quite a while. They obviously, even before obviously this outbreak, but once the pandemic started, you know, gatherings like that, it's a place where, you have a band live on stage and a bunch of people pack in. It's like a small little concert hall. And so it's obviously something that was discouraged after the pandemic started because it's a bunch of people jammed together, those dark space jamming out, and which is awesome. But obviously, is it still around? I'm not sure. Obviously, I haven't. I'll have to find out if they're still around. But I can't imagine business has been great for them over the past 2 years, and obviously nothing happening right now. So yeah, I really do feel for obviously a lot of different people, but also business owners of establishments like that who are really, really who are getting the short end of this stick. We can't do the regular business during this situation. But I'm not sure if they're open source.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you'll find out pretty soon after the lockdown ends. Hopefully, sometime around June. Fingers crossed. Somebody said there is definitely going to be a huge something. Not sure what. CST said 已经3年没回去. I think you mean Shanghai, the city. 很想回去一趟. That's somebody saying they haven't been back to Shanghai for about 3 years. They really want to come back. Yeah, they meant Shanghai. Somebody, Walter says, hello from Texas. Love these early morning live streams. Texas.
Hey, howdy.
Have you been here, Alex?
Yeah, I lived in Texas. I lived in Texas for a year when I was in my early teens. I've been to Texas a lot. Yeah.
Oh, I really want to go to Texas. I had a trip planned there. Actually, I had all my tickets booked to the States. We were going to do a road trip from the East Coast to the West Coast over 3 weeks. And everything was booked. And then COVID came around. So that was really we were going to go through Texas and stuff, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
In the U.S., those kind of road trips are really good. I recommend people take the U.S. highway systems instead of the interstate highways because they're just as long, but actually go through cities and towns. Now, you can't drive as fast on those highways. And so it's going to take
idea.
Actually are driving through cities and towns and through stoplights, main streets, and through towns and cities rather than just blowing by through the forest, So
yeah, that's definitely
U.S.
That's definitely what we were aiming to do. So yeah. Hopefully we can do it after. Anyway, you guys
enjoy that. That'll be fun.
Yeah. That's all we have time for tonight. I don't know if you have anything more you want to add, Alex?
Not that I can think of. We will come back tomorrow with the new numbers and any new interesting tidbits or anything that's happening. Hope that all of you can get out of your compounds soon. Do at least walk around and sort of break up the monotony, the seemingly endless monotony of this entire situation.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, we'll see you guys same time tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye.